Hello, captains. Welcome to the channel. It is time for the weekly reset, and I am Captain Cash the Stampede. As you see on the screen, the season ends in 55 days. We had 7 days added on to it because the season was unfortunately extended because our faction wars are delayed. The land combat is delayed. The officers situation that we were getting has also been delayed. So once we do get an actual roadmap to express to you, I will definitely go over it. But at this time, right now, all we will be doing is just going through our normal gameplay loop and dealing with the couple of events that will pop up over the season. The one that we're really looking for is this here Darktide Lullaby that starts in September. But at least until then, we do have the Glory Adorned event, which will be going on for the next 2 weeks. This will allow you to unlock some cosmetics. Serpent's Wrath, so Commander Zhang is back, and so is the Undead Zamaharibu. This weekend, we'll have a Pieces of 8 event where you'll be able to earn more Pieces of 8. I noticed that the developers did not put double or put an actual number for this like they did with the silver. I find that to be pretty funny that it just says earn more Pieces of 8 this weekend instead of double or whatever. So yeah, whatever. Next week though, if you have not had a chance to take them on yet, the Great Shadu will be back so you can take on the Vikram Rajan fight. And for new captains who have just started playing the game this season, please make sure you check out the From Abyss fight. This is the Road Mangoden, our second ghost captain fight that you can take on. The first one is a teal kind of, has a teal color emanating from the ship. This one is all red and it turns the whole area red when you fight them. Go to the fight, do a SOS call to get as many people into the fight as possible because it affects that fight in a very hilarious way. So hopefully you have some fun with that. And then next weekend we'll be able to earn double guild marks. I see that they did at least say double on the guild marks. We'll see if that's actually double or 1.5 guild marks. As far as the actual Smugglers Network is concerned, of course, these items up top will still be available for the next 55 days. But down here, we have a few new items, or not new items, but newly rotated items. For major furniture, we have the Worm's Breath Churner, Buoy Locker 1, and the Tooling's Guidance. For minor furniture, we have the Tuning Station 1 and Machinist's Table 1 for mines. For those of you who are looking to start a mine build, you want this, and the Buoy Locker 1 and the Infernal Maw is a good place to start with. It'll allow you to throw 3 mines out instead of the normal 2, and you can make 3 explosions with the fiery Infernal Maw. The Dahaka is a very good torpedo. It pierces multiple ships. The Electo Ballista will fire 3 bolts at once. If all 3 bolts land, the target catches on fire. And we have the Phoenix Talon Demi Cannons, which will also set the target on fire if you land all 18 pellets from the Demi Cannon. There is a blueprint available for blueprint collectors. Get yourself the Lepeaker 3 blueprint, and you can make as many of them as you need when they're not dropping at some point in the future. But keep in mind, anytime you take on Lepest or any of the Plague Princes in Tier 2, you can also get the Lepeaker 3 to drop. I spent all of my guild marks, as you see up there at the top corner. I am at 0 because unfortunately the developers have put a limit on the stock of chests that you can purchase with these. I did a video talking about how you can get rich by buying these. 1,000 chests would pretty much make you a millionaire. I was lucky enough to get myself up to about 28 million, and then sadly the developers put this cap in place. The community is not happy about it. It's unfortunate because it only gets you about 6,000 silver, a little over 6,000 silver for 20 of these chests. Yes, you can go to Talak Banjara and buy another 20, allowing you to have 40 chests, and you can get yourself just under 13 grand worth of silver. Again, a big slap in the face. I complained about it in the subreddit because it blew my mind that this team has 2 communities, the Discord and the subreddit, and neither of them did they express any concern about the silver. They could have easily said that the developers find this to be a problem and we may have to put a cap on it in the future. Let's talk about what that cap should be. Like, that should have been the conversation we're having instead of, oh, it's 20, deal with it. Because most people are saying that, and I agree with them, because this was one of the few ways to fund any weapon ascending in this game. If you're someone who's trying to make builds and you had a limited amount of anything, it was either going to be of the modules or of silver. Right now, the game is flooding you with modules, with Ascension modules and upgrade modules. Silver was also not a problem because of these chests. Now, it forces you to grind things, and everyone knows exactly why you're doing this. It's because you guys want us playing the game a very specific way. It sucks, and it really also does a number on the goodwill I mentioned that you had just gotten from us last week, when we were pretty much, I have to say, not as negative as we could have been when we realized that everything was getting delayed. A lot of the complaints of last week did not include, oh yeah, on top of which the season is being fucking delayed. This week, that is very much in almost every single comment that I see down there. Oh yeah, you guys are doing this in addition to delaying content. It's like, this stuff is starting to now pile up and backfire, and it blows my mind that they went this route about it. Maybe they change it. Keep an eye on the channel. I'll definitely pop up any new word about this so that, you know, everyone can get back to good silver farming. But for the moment, yeah, the silver chest get rich quick scheme has now been nerfed. But with that, that takes care of the weekly reset portion of our video. Really quick, I'll go over the maintenance notes. They are very, very short. They largely just talk about what I just explained to you. This week's highlight focused on a number of set of high priority stability changes as per our ongoing commitment to focus on quality. The team is working on our plans for our upcoming mid-season update and will reveal more information about its contents and the updated roadmap as soon as possible. Alright, and here we go. Developer note: with the addition of guild marks to the rewards of Megafor Wovenhole, we notice a significant increase in players performing these runs as a very profitable means to accumulate large amounts of silver. We want to leave this as a viable source of silver for players, and I laugh at 20 chests being viable, but anyway. We are implementing an exchange limit to curb the inflation of silver in the economy through this loop. So vendors, as mentioned, added an exchange limit of 20 per week for silver at Blackwood Shop. Again, Talak Pinjara and St. Anne both have separate stock, so yeah, you can get 40 chests and get just under 13 grand for those. Fixes and improvements: the store had an issue where purchasing an item in the Pinnacle store could sometimes cause a rotative store error. That has been corrected. And we also have, sorry, I have to turn my alarm off, improved client stability. That's something that they say every maintenance update. Top issues under investigation: so we have the jerky and jittery steering on the frigate. That apparently happens with each and every ship in the game, but is more apparent with the frigate because of its size. But that is something that they're looking into. I honestly thought it was a server issue or like a connection thing, but no, it turns out that the ship really is, you know, drifting on its own. Some of you cannot progress multiple contracts with Blackwood. That's being looked into. Same thing with the Grim Tidings. Some of you cannot progress that. Call to arms will sometimes get canceled automatically while using the left mouse button on PC. There was an invisible risen Megalastari, which I find to be absolutely brilliant. Let's find a way to let it phase in and out from being invisible to invisible, because that would be a very, very fun fight to take on, in my opinion. The bow weapon is not following the aim down sights while aiming, so if you are using your bow weapon and you notice the cannonballs or bolts or torpedoes, probably the torpedoes are going where they're supposed to, but it looks like where you're aiming, the actual is not, the aiming on the bow is not working as expected. Let's see, Rags to Riches trophy is not unlocking. Bark passive healing is not working for some of you out there. I did not know this. I have not used a bark in quite a while, but apparently that is something that is happening and they are looking into, and that sucks because that is one of the best things about that ship. and Megafort Woven Hole can inflict damage to you outside of the area of effect. So you'll see the big red circle on the ground, and sometimes the shots are actually going outside of that circle as well. So watch out for that. As always, down in the descriptions, if you are having any problems that have not been mentioned already in today's video, jump down there into the descriptions and use the link for the bug reporter and literally report any bug that you have to the developers. If you can do it, do yourself a solid and get like a 30-second clip of the video. I was actually going to stand over here the whole time. I'm sorry about just standing over there in the background. Um, but if you take a small clip of it, that's the best thing for you to do because they can actually see it in action. So, take a little small clip. Most of us should have an app that you can just take, content from. PlayStation has a PSN app, so anything that you record or take a picture of, I don't know if you knew this, but you can download it straight to your phone. So if you got a really good clip, yeah, you can download a 4K version of that to your phone and use it if you want to. So same thing with, that's with images, So I wager that's the same thing for Xbox as well. You guys should have a pretty easy way of getting your content onto a PC, but do that. Upload it to the devs, that way they can actually see your problem in action, because I bet you that'll make things a little bit easier for them when they're going to correct them. But that'll do it. Again, sorry for just staring at the back of my head for the maintenance notes. I meant to have you just overlooking the warehouse as I generally do, but that's gonna do it. Things aren't as nice as we would like them to be right now in the game, but we're holding out that this faction war thing gets announced. It sounds like they are still bringing it in a mid-season update. I'm not sure if I'm reading into that correctly, so that gives me the impression that we're still getting it this season, but we won't know until they give us the actual roadmap. But I'm going to stop waffling and get on out of here. I have been Captain Cash Stampede, and we will see you in the seas. Take it easy, Captain.